Also, Mayank, you have been a traveler and a travel curator. So, first of all, what do you like the most out of these?
It was -9. I took off my hat, I took off my gloves. Firstly, that guy is looking weirdly. It's -9. Everything is freezing. Why are you taking your clothes off right now? I forgot my watch in the previous hotel, That okay, No, it's very important. It's a Rolex.
रोलेक्स है रोलेक्स वो भी ओरिजिनल
What was that one travel experience which changed your entire perspective towards this industry?
Our wives will wear that chiffon sari and they will be on top of the mountain in Switzerland.
Mayank, with this, I want to ask you one personal question. What is travel to you?
Travel is like oxygen to me. Keeps me energized. It keeps me curious.
In a swank way, that's how we roll, chasing big dreams. Yeah, we're in control.
Alright, buckle up, because today we are not going to talk about only travel, but we are going to talk about how to live it. And my guest today doesn't just visit places, he feels them. He is the kind of person who can turn a simple trip into a story you will never forget, filled with adventure, laughter, and just the right amount of chaos. Mayank Marda, the director of Vibrant Experiences, a company that spreads happiness through their curated travel experiences. And let's explore this experience with Mayank.
Started from the bottom, now we're leading the way. In a swank way, we're here to stay.
So Mayank, you have been a part of your family-driven business, import-export, right, for all these years. But it clearly shows that how much you love travel and your heart always beats for travel. So tell us, like, when did it start?
Well, Tushar, if I'll tell you, like any other Indian household, when the summer break begins, your mother takes you back to her place.
Of course.
So us children also, we used to go with my mother to my Nana Nani's house, which is in Delhi. So of course it was a travel to get there, meet all the cousins, play with them in the courtyard. We played cricket over there, or get together piling on in one jeep in the evening. We are all going to India Gate. And the special treat would be that ice cream, or the kasata if you were lucky that day. So this was not very fancy in terms of what travel is today, but still I think that was where the seeds of travel was sown, and it created that bond in us as to what travel can do and change as a perspective for you.
Okay, so in your entire journey so far, what was that one travel experience which changed your entire perspective towards this industry?
Well, if I have to say that, it was some years back, maybe a long time, maybe about 20 years back, I was going to this meeting in Italy. This is at 8 in the morning, and along with our other business partner, we are dressed up nicely in suits, and you know how the Italians are, all well dressed and everything, ties and everything. And we come to our driveway where our meeting place is, and where the meeting building is, right next to that is a huge parking lot. That parking lot must be at least housing more than 1,000 cars, if maybe a kilometer long. We enter the parking lot. It's a 8 a.m. meeting in the morning, and we are there at about 7:40, much earlier than our time. So this man comes and he enters the parking lot, and he takes the car right towards one end and he parks it over there. And I thought maybe the meeting building is right over there, and that's why he's chosen that spot. And we get off and we start walking. And we come back right to the spot where we entered, and there were ample parkings left over there.
Okay.
And I asked him, his name was John. I asked him, hey John, why, you did not take this spot and just park here, and we would have gone inside the building. And that one thing what he told me really changed what I think about how we perceive travel, or what others think, the empathy which they bring. He said, Mayank, my friend, we are early. Our meeting is much late. But just think of that guy uh, who will come at 5 minutes to 8 or less than that, and he will rush for his meeting. If I had left that spot for him, he would have never made it in time. But we will anyways make it in time. And trust me, that time management was one thing which was maybe the smaller part, but the thought which went into it was really deep and changed something inside of me. So today when we see, I go to a parking lot, and in India we see people actually fighting
for it.
for the spot,
Definitely.
you know. uh, I saw it first. Meri gaadi jayegi. No, I was here before, you know. And I'm just thinking, my God, what are people thinking and how way different they are. And that's why I think they are known as happier people, right?
Right.
Because they are thinking about others. And real joy is when you are thinking about others, not about how you can be first.
I mean, so thoughtful, and a small gesture can actually change your perspective
Oh,
towards.
absolutely. It has.
Also, Mayank, you have been a traveler and a travel curator. So, first of all, what do you like the most out of these?
I can't say what I like more because you know travel is something very eternal to me, or I think a special bond or a purpose it has brought to my life.
Okay.
You know, when I am traveling, it makes me feel happy. It makes me, I think it does that for everyone. I will not generalize it only for myself, maybe, but I think it's a universal language what travel does. But when I do it for myself, I am very, very, in a different zone. I am a person who likes adventure, who likes thrills, and who is like, absolutely looking out for newer places. I want to meet new people, understand their cultures, and actually a way of life, learn from them. Every travel brings a lot of learning.
Right.
So this is what I look at when I go to newer places as a traveler myself on a personal front.
Okay.
But when I am looking at it from the perspective of a travel curator or a company which is involved with it, there is lot more deeper thoughts which go into it. Over the years we've learned how small gestures, how intimately personalized things can really change a person's perspective or make him feel happy about what he or she is experiencing. So that is the part which I really think we bring as travel curators, and that touch or that personalized thing is really special.
Mayank, being a travel curator, you have been always known for your experiences that leave people smile after the trip. So, what are those special things that you do for these particular experiences?
Well, I think it's not something which we do as a specialty. I think it's more about the concern or the care, which has to come from within, Tushar. I can't say I do something really special or my team is really. Of course, that care and concern is something which is absolutely there in them. It's something which becomes a part of your DNA, and that's what really brings out that element.
Right.
So it could be a small thing. I can tell you, we had these 40 guests on wanting to see the northern lights in somewhere Finland, I think. And it was a frozen lake, and temperatures are really -10, -15 when you're seeing the lights. And what our team just did is, for that group, they got some masala Indian tea, they got some Parle G biscuits and kachoris, which they served them on that lake. And believe me, Tushar, the kind of smiles or that joy that left them and the way they blessed our team, he said, "Oh, you have just really re energized us." and they were, some of them were senior citizens, so to them, that cup of tea or those 2 cups of teas which they had in that freezing temperature, it's a small gesture, but they really, really appreciated it. So it's these small things which, just I guess are important and which we try and take care of. Of course, you will put them up in good hotels, you will serve them good meals. It is a given, it's hygiene. But if you do something which they can take back afterwards, that is what stays with them, which they didn't expect.
Right. So now we are talking about the smallest things, right? So I want to know, what is that one thing which is, I mean, for which your team and you went above and beyond to fulfill for your clients?
There are many stories which come up to my mind, maybe. But I think, this one time, one of our clients wanted to organize, something different in terms of where they will hold their team building.
Okay.
And what we did is we actually designed the entire team building this was in Manila, Philippines.
Okay.
It was in the basketball court where the USA Olympic winning gold medal team had played their match, So it was a prestigious NBA kind of stadium or atmosphere, but it was in Manila. And that's where we actually organized their team building. They had screens put up for them and they had their entire session, so the entire team of 250 people who was attending that session was energized. There was music like in a basketball court to energize the crowd, and along with it was their presentations. So, well, they never thought, this will kind of be put up in such a setting and it will become fun for them. Otherwise, they had got up thinking, oh, it's going to be another
Right.
boring morning of, just lectures or conversations around strategy and what you have to achieve this year. But suddenly it took like a
The entire
flip
setup.
and it became like a sport which everybody was participating in and was very fascinated. So, yeah, I guess it is one vivid memory which just comes up to my mind right now.
So thoughtful. And uh, when we talk about team building, right? So in a corporate or maybe whoever is coming, there are a set of different mindsets with different thought processes and with different choices also and likings also. How do you cater to all these things together?
It comes with experience. I think over the years, we have understood that no two people are same. Okay, but how everybody understands, a similar language. People around the world are similar. Whether you talk about a tribal in New Zealand or you talk about a guy in the street of Manhattan, or you talk about a person from India, we all understand a universal language, and the things which make us laugh or smile are similar around the world. So I will think, there is the secret sauce could be in probably taking that care for them, or organizing that something special or extra which they like.
Nice. And going back to the cassata ice cream that you mentioned, right? So food is a very integral part or a very important part for anyone, like be it any country, any person. So what is your ideology towards this entire process of food being an important part of travel?
Well, for us as Indian people, if I was to tell you, uh, अपन गोला खाने चलते हैं, ओके, तो आपका पहला क्या थॉट आएगा?
I'll look at my childhood memories first.
And where will that be? It will take you to maybe Juhu Beach.
Yes.
And that gola which is famous, right?
Right.
Similarly, each country has its own kala khatta or gola which they are serving.
Okay.
So we have tried to gel that with every curation we are making. Food has to be served in a way that people appreciate it, of course. The taste has to be good. These are small or hygiene factors again. But how it can become special? We went to Kuba Palace in Shadag, and there in Kuba Palace, we had this meal laid out in a palatial style. You know, how you see it in one of those movies where you have two people on the top and every, an 8 course or meal being served to the people. It was laid like that, to the guests were simply wowed, like, here we are in a palace actually being served like royalty. To a simple thing like, we had this very special thing in somewhere in Ho Chi Minh, I think, or Hanoi maybe. It was, what was it? It was like, there was ice at the bottom, okay, just like a saucer like this or a cup like this, a bigger one. It's got ice, filled with ice. On top of that is cream. On top of that is fruits, and different fruits. They have some exotic varieties in Vietnam, you know that. So just that being served in the street was such a delicacy. Those 30 people were like amazed. What a choice, So they even forgot the egg coffee, which we took them later on, but that street food. So it does not matter about being, in a Michelin star or being, in a fancy place or being on the street, But what is important is whether your team can identify the right things or not. And I guess, over the years, coming from a family which is very fond of food, personally, I am very, very, fond of different cuisines myself. So I think this has been the way food has been incorporated in every journey. And I think it plays a very, very important role. And we are happy that everybody is coming back, satisfied. In fact, on one of the trips, one of the guests told, बॉस बस आपके टीम वालों को बोल दो बंद करे, ये खिला खिला के ही हमारे को जगह नहीं देखने दे रहे, मार देंगे खिला खिला के, पर खाना बहुत अच्छा है. So I think it's a compliment, but at the same time, we've somewhere touched them, deeply, that they have enjoyed that kind of food or taste or palate even when they were abroad, which was just like home or it was better.
And whenever people are on a trip, of course, lot of weirdest requests, कुछ ना कुछ चाहिए रहता है. What is the weirdest request that you have ever got and you tried fulfilling also?
Well, some are, I can share maybe a couple. One of them, obviously, there is a lot of influence of, movies in our lives. Bollywood plays an important part.
For India,
And for
it is
India
must.
and for every traveler also. Somewhere or the other, they are enamored with what is happening in Bollywood, right? So we had this request from a set of couples, and they said that chahe jo bhi ho, our wives will wear that chiffon sari,
Okay.
and they will be on top of the mountain in Switzerland, and I will wear that jacket with a hat, and we want you to do our photo shoot over there on top of a mountain in Europe, in Switzerland. And yeah, we made it happen. So that memory of theirs, is something which they have made a big full-size photograph and pasted in their living room.
Wow.
They had invited me for the dinner after their tour, saying that, it was absolutely amazing. And I was just stunned to see that photograph right there in their living room. But it was kind of, I would say, a joyous moment for me also, that the team could fulfill that wish of theirs. It was little difficult, because to arrange everything. But yes, it was something which happened.
Yes, and I think any tour, any trip is not just seeing places. It is about like what you do there, what kind of experience that you bring back, and the memories that you bring back after the tour. So yeah, curating them is your specialty.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I mean, we are trying, we are learning even now. And I think, yes, this is something which we really work hard for.
So Mayank, everyone goes for a trip to have fun, right? To have relaxation or to break your routine. So what is your funniest memory that you have on your trips?
Well, yeah, a funny memory would be something which I still remember many years back, much younger then, and more youthful, wanting to try things out. So I remember this distinctly. I was on the top of Salzburg, on one of the peaks, and it was -9 degrees. But everyone has those bucket list. I can't say I'm not one of them just because I am a part of travel curations myself. So I also had that little, boy dream, I will stand on top of this mountain and I will have this photograph, okay, and post it or share it. And what I did is, it was -9. I took off my hat, I took off my gloves, I have this phone in my hand, which I hand over to a stranger, and I just go and tell him, firstly, that guy is looking weirdly. It's -9. Everything is freezing. Why are you taking your clothes off right now? What are you doing? So, but that is one, that picture I got, after convincing, he said, okay, quick, 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 you will freeze, and I got it. And I still now look back at it, I think it's one of the very funny travel things which I did myself, okay. But there are funny things which happened when I was traveling. I had this group of friends, we are traveling, and we are somewhere in Scandinavia, and one of them is forgotten the passport.
Oh,
And we are already in a different city, and they've forgotten it in the previous city, and I'm like, of all things, people will laugh, they'll say you're traveling with us, and you've only not carried your passport from one city to the other. And then it was a little bit of an ordeal, but yeah, it was fun, I would say. Or this one time when this friend of mine, we've reached the mountains, and from the city where we were, the capital city in Europe, and we've reached the mountains, and she says, hey, sorry, but I have to tell you, I forgot my watch in the previous hotel, and I said, okay, no, it's very important, it's a Rolex, and I'm like, really? You forgot your Rolex in the hotel previously? That's more expensive than our trip, than many of our trips. But, and she was like, oh my God, I can't really miss it. I will be killed at home. I said, even I would be killed, if I forgot my Rolex back.
what about my next trips?
And, we were lucky. Obviously, these hotels are pretty decent and honest, and we were lucky. But sometimes you aren't really, But when you aren't, people come back and tell you, you didn't try enough. But well, it's not really up to us. But yeah, it's a funny memory, And I think these are some things, when you look back at those pictures, you still laugh, how we were and where we have come. But it's still something which brings me joy if I just think about it now also.
Yep. And anything from your clients on your trips?
From clients, yeah, I mean, I don't want to name anyone, but I will tell you a few things which were genuinely. So in New Zealand, when you do a self-drive, or wherever, any part of the world, when you do a self-drive, once you finish your journey, you're supposed to top up the fuel to the full and then leave the car at the airport or whichever train station, wherever you are exiting from. And this client of ours, okay, was on a self-drive trip for completed very nicely. 8 days are done. On the 8th day, frantically calling up, our team and saying, my car is not starting, my car is not. What happened? You've been using it all these days, and what? No, I just filled up the fuel and everything, and it's not starting, and you won't even imagine, he's been using the car, he's been doing the fuel filling, but of course gases are different in different countries, right? And instead of filling petrol, he filled diesel in the entire tank.
Wow.
And after that, he's telling, अब ये मेरे से 30,000 रुपया मांग रहे. I'm like, dude, you just wrecked their car, He has to clean up the entire tank. I mean, let's just be happy it's a small damage. And then, of course, there's insurance and things like that, which you claim later on. But yeah, it's like funny, right? You start thinking. And your team is also saying, see, sir, what kind of a thought is this, What are we supposed to answer? How can we change your car's fuel now? But yeah, it got sorted. It was funny. But this other thing is funny also is like, this couple is on, one of their romantic getaways, and like they call up the team and they're like, beautiful hotel, बहुत अच्छा है, and पर यार अभी इतना मजा नहीं आ रहा है मुझे इनके साथ. I mean, like, they
with the partner.
Yeah, I mean, like, how can we prep it up? And that's when it gets you thinking, our team people also become their friends, They are able to confide in our team people and tell things or stories, okay, about their own self. So this is what travel does, It's not just a journey which you take for seeing a place. Sometimes you just make friends unknowingly and you start. And of course, it was in light humor, I will say it now, that he or she was referring to about how it was going, I think. But somewhere there was some connection which they had established with the team member
right.
also. So I think, yeah, that is one weird but funny story which I always will remember. कि यार आपके हनीमून पे आपको मज़ा नहीं अगर आ रहा है तो हमारा टीम मेंबर क्या कर सकता है इसके बारे में like but yeah. And so this one time the most important, like forgetting a personal item is different, right? But this group of people, about 78 of them, had gone to Japan, and what had happened is these guys reached Hiroshima for the day visit, and they were to come back to from another place, and then they were to check in into their hotels in Kyoto, and they were carrying their luggages from the previous place and coming back. And this one man actually, forgot his luggage in Hiroshima and reached Kyoto. And we were like, we've heard of people forgetting things, but how can you forget a big suitcase of yours? And then it became like a fun story all through the trip, where people were referring to the oxygen announcement on flights. पहले अपना ऑक्सीजन मास्क पहनिए और फिर दूसरों की मदद करिए. तो पहले आप अपना सूटकेस आइडेंटिफाई करके लेके आइए, फिर दूसरों का सूटकेस देखना. Because he was busy looking for other people's, only to realize that his own suitcase he has forgotten. Then of course our people went back, took a bullet train, went there, got, luckily again we could recover it. It was safe. Japan is usually very safe, but we recovered it, got it, and we delivered it. And he was like, oh God, you can't tell me how much you have saved me. My wife would have killed me. She keeps telling me I'm so forgetful. We said, I mean, in our minds we were only saying, we know why she says so, But yes, it was a really funny incident also. Yeah.
And Mayank, you have explored almost more than 50 countries so far, right?
Yeah.
So what is the adventurous thing that you have done or craziest thing that you have done so far?
Well, there are many memories, Tushar, which will come up about, crazy or adventure things. I'm an absolute adventure buff, and I think most people somewhere or the other have that in their hearts. They're only, having that fear to explore. But whether I think I think the bungee jumping, which I did in South Africa, that was one adventure. It is always very difficult when you bungee jump the first time. When you just come on the ledge and you are going to take that leap of faith, that is that moment of truth. That's when a person starts thinking, मैं कितना पागल हूँ ना, मैं खुद कूदने के लिए पैसा भी दे रहा हूँ और मैं यहाँ पर इतना डर भी रहा हूँ, and it is like literally, it is a feeling like that. But that bungee jumping which I did, or else I remember the skydiving which I did in Queenstown. Okay, it was, when you go up there in the clouds and suddenly you start feeling the plane has gone quite high, and I'm like, boss, काफी है इतना, यहीं से कूद लेंगे, बादल नीचे दिख रहे हैं, अभी कहाँ लेके कहाँ जा रहे हो आप, but you suddenly realize, and when that aircraft door opens and you are seeing there are clouds below, there is a sky below, and you have a free fall. That free fall lasts you for about 20 or 30 seconds, but it's at around 200 kilometers an hour. So imagine driving a car at 200 kilometers an hour, but without windows.
Wow.
So that is your speed for those first 30 seconds from 18,000 feet till another maybe 6,000 feet when they open that first parachute for you. So it is a thrill. It is the most crazy 30 seconds of your life, I think. And the following 4 or 5 minutes are the most precious 5 minutes of your life because you feel you are flying now. You are seeing the mountains, you are seeing some rivers, there is lush green fields, and oh, it's a sight to behold. That image is still imprinted in my mind. And I'm telling you, I've done that 18 years before, first time. But I have gone back and done these experiences in multiple places in different settings, and the feeling is very ecstatic. So these, thrills are something. I believe fear is temporary, but your memory is forever. So whenever later on, it's maybe a thing to tell my grandchildren, that I jumped off this cliff or I jumped off that airplane. And it's not just because of a bragging value, but it's just because of that sheer joy or thrill. I can still feel some energy or goosebumps when I think about that, but it was very, very precious to me.
Yes, and you took me back to my, like, adventurous thing that I've done. I had a fear of water.
Yeah.
And then first time when I did scuba diving in Andaman,
Okay.
Hamlock, it was,
Yes.
I mean, I would say first, I think 2 or 3 minutes when they take you down, it's like, I was like, what is happening? I couldn't see anything. And after those 2.5 minutes, it's something that the entire new world is open for you. Because what we see in maybe Discovery or on the channel or something, it is different. We expect it will look like that, but when it is like, naked to your eyes and you're seeing the thousands of fishes around you, and the colors are so vibrant to your eyes, and I was like, they taught us the actions and
Yes,
how you get
yes,
into,
I
and
know.
but like for a second, it was one string, one stingray passed below me, and I was like shocked, and I was like, oh.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But it was so good. I saw these big angel fishes. Like,
Wow.
so good, so good. And yeah, that is one memory that I will always have with me. Like despite having fear. And luckily, we were like 8 of us on that boat, and the guide and these trainers, they were asking who will go first. So I was the first one to jump off.
Wow.
So I was really happy and swimming in the middle of.
The ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's magical. I can actually feel that energy from you also, and how that memory. So it's all about, these memories, you overcame that fear of yours, and that's what I think most of us need to do really in life. And I'm really blessed. Travel has helped me.
Yeah, because when you have a trip of maybe 8 days, 10 days, whatever days you go, I think those 8 to 10 minutes or maybe 2 3 minutes of your entire trip will always be with you, not the entire trip. So those memories are very special for anyone who goes out, explores new place.
Yeah, I would always second you on that and always recommend. In fact, it's very high on our agenda always to tell people about the great experiences which you can, get for yourself. And I'm sure they will live with you for a lifetime once you kind of actually do it.
Right. And talking about grandchildren, but first I want to know as a parent how your entire journey is inspiring to your kids.
Well, let me tell you a different story. I'll take that also. But it's, we think we are teaching something to our kids, or, how travel is shaping them. I'm telling you a very unique thing. And in fact, I'm telling you this thing about this year. It was the 1st of January. The new year had just begun, and 2025. And we were in skiing in on the mountain slopes in Shadag. And over there, when we were skiing, I have never done skiing before, and neither have my boys. I have two boys, one is 14 and one is 11. And both of them were with me. And the ski instructor looked at me and he was like, not so sure, a guy in his late 40s, he's not really fit for skiing now, because it is a skill which you need to learn, but I was, I'm a little stubborn about these things. And when it comes to adventure, I am always up for it, I said, no, no, I really need to. And we have signed up. And back of my mind, I'm also thinking, boss, I've really made that payment also to you, so you better be teaching me. I have to learn skiing and going back, But nevertheless, that's on the lighter note. I'm with my children, and in first 20 minutes or 30 minutes, they are like, gliding on the snow already. And for the first 2 hours, what I was doing was only trying to get up and fall down, get up, fall down. But this was after 2 hours, somewhere, I had one fall, and probably I was going to give up. But you can't imagine, something really happened, which I think again has touched me and will live with me. My uh, older boy and my younger boy, they came to my side, and one of them held my one arm, and the other one is telling, you know, come on, Papa, you can do it, get up types. And they held me, and actually, and it's difficult when you are with skis on your legs to pick up someone, and they are not that old, but they managed to pick me up. And they told me, come on, Papa, you can do it. And trust me, it's still reverberating in my ears now also, how it was kind of a role reversal. They were teaching me, they were inspiring me, and telling me. And I'm not joking, and this is absolutely true. It's not like I have just said this, Tushar, because we are sitting in this conversation. After that, I went up that ski slope, and when I came down, I completed that entire slope without falling down. I don't know. It's not coincidence. It's probably their, faith, or their kind of inspiration which they brought in me, that I thought, like, these guys are doing it in the first 30 minutes. It's been 2 hours. Why can't I do it? And I was able to do it. So but my real takeaway would be, travel is not only about what we can give to our children. Sometimes it's also about what the children bring back to us. And this one thing has really, really, inspired me to take on newer challenges. When I'm now at work, I think it keeps coming back. Come on, Papa, you can do it. And maybe at work, maybe at a difficult situation, I will still keep this echoing in my ears, and it will be something which will always be very special.
I mean, I'm touched.
Yeah, I really, it was something like that. As a parent, you can feel it, I know.
So, Mayank, there are options of luxury hotels and boutique properties, right? What is your take on that?
Well, I'm in the hotel industry. I can't say no to fancy hotels. We've done that, most of us have experienced those. They are fun, they are nice, great. But I tell you, some of these boutique properties, and I'll give you maybe a few names or examples, and they have been outstanding. My experiences have actually driven me to start thinking these local brands or properties also, if they are well researched by somebody, they can offer you exceptional experiences. Let's say there was, if I can name, there is Pezula in South Africa. Amazing, what a vast expanse. It's beautiful, mind blowing, I would think. Then there is one property in the Kakheti region of Georgia called Lopota, and if you stay over there, it almost feels like you are in heaven, because you have a lake, you have these chalets, or which are like Swiss style, or I don't know which style you would like to call them, European, but beautiful. And you have these expanses of water bodies nearby, and it's absolutely magical, I would think. And I would also think I have done a simple river cruise at Halong Bay, and but the kind of scenery where it takes you through that natural beauty. But those river cruises by themselves are beautiful. You never get to stay in, like, large rooms on a, boat or a yacht or anything. But these have like some fantastic. So they are local or boutique properties or experiences. But if they are done correctly, they can be. But I feel, yes, for that you will need an expert's guidance. And the hotels, yes, there are plenty of them. You can name them, and probably most of us have stayed in all those chains. It's a tough choice between the two, but yes, both of them offer their uniqueness.
Yes. Mayank, with this, I want to ask you one personal question. What is travel to you? What travel means to you, and your lessons that you have learned from this, your journey?
Well, Tushar, if I was to tell you, travel is like oxygen to me. Uh, it keeps me energized, it keeps me curious. And if I was to tell you about lessons which it has taught, I mean, probably this podcast is not going to be enough to, like, tell you all about it. But I could list maybe a few things which come at the top of my mind. One travel over these years has taught me is probably to uh, slow down. Slow down does not mean to slow down in what you are doing, but slow down as like something like a basic thing like eating food, enjoy your meal, enjoy your company of the people you are enjoying it with. Most of the people we know, they are very proud Indians. We all say, यार मैंने आज 5 मिनट में अपना खाना खा लिया. But when you will ask somebody from Norway or Sweden or Finland, and they will laugh at you. They are the happiest countries of the world for a reason, right? They say that is your most important part of the day. Enjoy your meal, slow down, have food slowly, okay? So maybe slow down for these things, empathy, which you can bring with it, do that. Second thing I would say is probably it has taught me to live in the moment. Um, Enjoy where you are. You could be, dancing in the streets of a country somewhere else, or you could be sitting right here. But the key is to enjoy it. So when you are on your travel, enjoy it thoroughly, and you will come back refreshed and re energized. But if you are bothered with things or something else, planning or doing something for that time, you may not really relish it so much. So think about, enjoying the moment nicely where you are. And the greatest one lesson I think travel has taught me is humility, or how we should be humble. Whether it was standing in front of the Grand Canyon, the massive Grand Canyon, or whether it was observing the northern lights, absolutely awestruck, in that cold, but enjoying it. What it has taught me is, in this scheme of such large things, nature, we are just a very tiny spot or a speck, what we are. So always stay true to what you are, be humble, and humility is my biggest lesson. So these are my three best takeaways, or what is on the top of my mind with travel.
Thank you so much, Mayank, for sharing so many experiences. And actually, I was visualizing everything, and I have almost explored out of 50, 25 country almost with you. So thank you so much. And yeah.
Well, it's my pleasure, Tushar, to be here. I'm indeed thankful to you for having me over, and it's been quite a fun learning or experience for me as well, to discuss these things. And you are not going to visit these countries just like that. Trust me, we will travel together to those 25 countries again.
Sure.
It will be my pleasure. Thank you, Tushar.
I'm sure you have explored a lot about travel today, and if you want to explore such more beautiful content, then please subscribe us.
Way, that's how we roll, chasing big dreams.